welcome back to Deep College Thoughts. This episode we have a special guest, Miss C. I'm gonna have you introduce yourself a little bit before we get into the podcast episode.
Sure. So, hey, y'all. They call me Miss C, but my name is Carrington. I'm a graduate student here at UNCG, and I was Johnny's professor or instructor. So that's how we know each other.
Yes. Okay, so for this next part, we're gonna ask you 8 questions, and we can ask you the question, and then you can answer, and then we'll just go back and forth. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Okay. You want to start with us?
Yeah. So, are you a first-gen student? If yes, how has that impacted you? If not, what was it like for you?
So I'm not a first-gen student.
Okay.
Both of my parents did go to college and get their little degrees.
Okay.
And how has it impacted me? I feel like I have to live up to the expectation, right? Of like, they have their degrees, now I gotta go get mine too, kind of, so.
Yeah. You already answered. What is your major?
Public health.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Public
Okay.
health.
Do you have any minors?
No. I mean, like, I have a concentration in community health, but no.
Did you always know what you wanted to major in, or has it changed?
Ooh, it changed. It
Yeah.
changed. So I got an associate's in biology,
Okay.
then a bachelor's in sociology, and now I'm getting my master's in public health. So yes, it changed throughout. And then even after I got my associates, I really was back and forth with psychology and sociology. So
That's why I'm doing the sociology.
yes,
Yes.
that's right.
Can you share some lessons that you have learned so far in college, or at least one lesson in your life that you think is most important for others to know?
Be true to yourself. Like, don't worry about what everybody else doing. Focus on you. And then know that the path you take is gonna be different than what everybody else takes. So it might take you, quicker, or it might take you longer, but that's okay. Just stay true to yourself and follow that pace. Stay true. Be yourself. Yeah.
If you could ask one piece of advice to your past self, what would it be and why?
Probably keep tunnel vision. Don't worry about what they doing and what somebody else doing. Like, just do what you want to do at your own pace. Just don't worry about what nobody else got to say. Some people, they might not understand like your process, but then when they see the results, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, well that's why she was doing it.
Okay, so I know you were my instructor / professor. So basically, with that being said, what's basically your job here on campus with also being a graduate student?
Yeah, so I'm a graduate assistant with the Department of Health and Human Sciences. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm a student success coach. Like, that's my role in the office. But with that role, I can teach HHS 150. I meet with students often. So, if you're going through something and just want to chat, or you need support in something, like, that's really what I'm there for in office.
Okay. What is the difference between graduate and undergraduate from your experience?
Ooh, I think the people, like the mindset of people, that makes sense. Like, in undergrad, it was just about, let me get through these classes, I'm ready to graduate. And you meet a couple people here and there that you tend to find like into, that you feel community with. But in grad school, you really find like those like-minded people. So like everybody's there for kind of the same thing, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like the same discipline. Like, we all want to do this and we all want to go and do that. So I guess like the mindset or the mentality.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I would expect that, just because like graduate school is like you're with all your people that are in the same major as you. So it's like a little different than undergrad. You have your 2 basic years. Then if you change and switch your major, you're like all over the place.
Yeah.
But also, like, graduate school is not that getting a bachelor's is necessary, but people see graduate school as like, oh, it's not necessary, so I don't have to go. So it's really just like filtered all the people who aren't serious out, and like the people who are really serious about what they're doing, like in grad school, I
Yeah.
guess.
That's what you're saying. Yeah. Because it is expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I do that right? Okay. So now everybody can answer these following questions. How do students take on leadership roles and make an impact within the college community? Who wants to go first?
Me? No.
I said, who wants
Oh.
to go
Oh.
first?
Oh, yeah.
So through undergrad, or you mean just
In general.
I'll separate in 2 different categories. I'll do undergrad first.
Okay.
So for me during undergrad, those leadership roles really look like being in student organizations and sitting on those e-boards, or really just being involved on campus, period. Rather than just sitting in your room and just, chilling out, not really being involved or as active on campus. In grad school, that just kind of like hopping on research and making sure you working, you hustling your butt off to get them good grades, because you do have to have like a certain GPA to like stay in the program. And so I think grad school is just more rigorous, being next to a professor on their research, you know what I'm saying? So that's probably it.
Similar to what you said, like being in different organizations and stuff like that. I know one of the biggest things around, like, when we come back to school is like, what do you call it? Like hall council.
Council,
There you go.
yeah.
Like hall council. I know that's a big way that people, it like really opens their eyes. They're like, okay, so if I'm in hall council, they'll start going out for like SGA and all types of student organizations. So a lot of kids who get into that hall council, they're like, oh, I can do it. So maybe that's a sign. Be on hall council. That's your way in. That's your way in. Be in hall council.
I think just being active on campus within like anything, like clubs, events, sports. But I feel like me as an individual, I haven't done anything to impact my college community. Like, I'm just here.
You started a podcast, right?
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
I know I started a podcast, but like my podcast isn't like, I guess the college community as like in a whole, yeah. But like in just my campus, there's nothing I have done for just my campus. Like my podcast isn't for, now we kind of got to say, my college podcast is not for UNCG only.
Yeah,
My college podcast is for everybody that even goes to a community college or is a senior in high school. Like, it affects so many more people than just college communities. So it's like, I haven't done anything for here per se, because I go to class, I do my assignments, I do the podcast, and I'm done. Like, that's my job.
So you show up for leadership in the classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want that to just be me, you know?
Well, I feel that way too. I haven't done anything since high school. Like, knowing me in high school, I was in high school.
Like, high school?
That person. I was at every event. Like, you scroll through the Facebook account of my high school.
Look
it was me. But like, since I've been here, I feel like I haven't done anything. I mean, the ethics bowl, that was fun. But like, other than that, like, I haven't done anything.
I feel
We're
the same
freshmen.
way. I
What are
feel
we gonna do?
like in my high school, well, actually middle school, I was on all sports, went to the Magna High School Connected, started my own Big Sister Big Brother program. I was in SGA. I did so many things. They were gonna shut down the Magna High School. I created a video to show to the Board of Education of like, what's a day in my life. how this has impacted. And like here, I'm like, okay, we go to college here. Like, what else do you want me to say?
But then I guess you have to realize, like, not saying that your high school wasn't big because your high school was big, but like, college is bigger than high school. It's not. We're always not going to be number one. I feel like that's what we're having a hard problem with because we were number one, and we're not going to be number one forever.
And you were number one.
But what do y'all feel like the disconnect is though? Like from
I think
high
it's
school to college?
like the difference between like high school and college.
Yeah, like getting involved. Like, what was the difference like between getting involved in high school versus getting?
Well, the difference now for me, now being so honest, if people from my high school watch this, I'm so sorry. In high school, it was easy to get to the top. So, like, if you just did your work and you were active in the community, you were number one. Like, you were always going to be number one because I come from such a small place. My high school, my graduating class, so only 62 people.
Wow.
Not 62, like 57.
She comes from a small town.
And then, like, my school period was like 250 people.
Wow.
So it wasn't hard to, like, you know, I guess if some people had a hard time, but like everybody knew everybody. So we kind of just used that sense of community. Here, it's so big and like, you know, more people go to this school than, well, my town. They live in my town, not my county, but my town. So.
But I wouldn't even say like it's diverse when it comes to numbers, but in reality, everybody has their own little group, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think here on our campus, and I do not want to shit talk, but I just feel like Latinos and Hispanics are more bigger on this campus than any other ethnicity or race.
On this campus?
Yeah. Like, they have the most events, they have their most, like, try to have the community engagement. It's always them. And then it's like, I heard a lot of people talking about, oh, well, Black History Month. What happened for Black History Month? We literally did what?
Don't ask me.
What did we do? Exactly.
Don't ask.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the people higher up, and by, I'm not talking about like the people in charge, I'm talking about like, okay, you're about to graduate, like your junior, senior year of college type. You have so much power that, like, since you have not seen change being here your 3 years, whatever, how many years, you just give up. So you don't want to see change. And then when the new people come in and they want to see change, they're like, oh, well, it's been like this for so long, so when is it ever going to change? And then that's when, like, doubt happens.
What are we talking about?
How, like, the Hispanics and Latinos, like, always have events and stuff. And I know I
Okay.
can be shit talking because I am Puerto Rican. But, like, I feel like there should be more different cultural events and stuff like that. Because, look at last
I'm not
night.
gonna say that's not. Well, that's really not the
That
university's
was
fault.
a beautiful event last night.
No, it was very beautiful.
It was so beautiful.
But I'm just saying, like, okay, Latin History Month, right? There was a whole bunch of events
That's
outside
because
of campus
their
and everything.
people went off
Exactly. So why isn't there more groups and clubs going on?
because they don't.
Because then we have all
Want
these
to.
people complaining.
I think that if we do want to see those type of events show up on campus, then we need to voice that,
Yeah.
right? So we need to figure out who we can talk to,
Yeah,
right?
it's not the college throwing these events. It's
These
the,
are student led.
clubs.
Yeah, these are
Yeah.
student
So if they
led.
want more events, then they need to be active. It's always, I'm gonna go off on a little rant. It's always the people who are not active in the club who are complaining like, oh, well, y'all should do this, y'all should do that. Well, come tell us, like,
Go do something.
like. People send out surveys or they ask questions like, "What do you want to see?" And people are like, "I don't know. I'm not going anyway." You're not helping. You're not helping.
Yeah. Next question. How do we balance life and studies?
Sleep.
Kelly, you in this sleep.
Listen, I've been asleep since 12:30. I just got up at like 4.
I know. Your location did not move.
Yes,
I was
woke up.
stalking you.
She wasn't even in the room.
Oh.
She was outside sitting on the bench.
Well, it is good outside. Um,
Balance is just such a hard word here. Cause like, what
Yeah.
is balance? What is life and study balance when you're
I
in
think
college?
you will never. Me personally, you will never figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where, like, you think you figured it out, and then something's gonna happen. You know, when, like, life is too good to be true, and then something bad happens. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's why you can never balance it out.
I think that balance, like you said, is such a hard word because when you're in school, studies is your life. Like, so what do you mean find a balance? This is literally my life. Like, there's no balance because this is what I'm here to do. So that's why I feel like people can't set a clear boundary with like school stuff because that's your livelihood. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
So
I like the way you put that. But yeah, that's a tough way to put it. Because truly, how do you truly balance
no,
like your extracurricular or life on top of school and studies? It's like so challenging.
Oh, we answered this last podcast, but I wanted to get your point of view.
Yeah.
How does failure contribute to the learning process, and what strategies can students use to learn from failure and bounce back even stronger?
I think with failure comes, it's just a result sometimes of taking that risk, right? So we want to take risks in life because you never know, it might come out right and it might not, but it's okay if it doesn't. So being okay and sitting with the okay of failure sometimes, and you learn from that too. What can I do different later on, right? Or how can I fix this problem? So yeah, it's a bounce back moment. How about that?
I think
Not our bounce back.
How do internships, workshops, and networking events give us the experiences to contribute to our academic and career growth?
That's first-hand experience. So it's kind of necessary at some point to get that that first-hand experience, that real world. Like, I'm going to school for this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the career I want. Let me try to get my hands on something to give me like a piece of what I might experience in that real world. That's why I think internships are like really important. And then plus you might end up with a full-time job if you get that internship. So yeah, internships are important for that real world experience. Now networking, that brings opportunity. So go to those social clubs and events, right? Sit with those teachers, a professor that you just really like talk to them all the time, pick their brain, because they might know something you don't.
She's shy.
Are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, pick their brain, because they know something you might not know. It's plenty of opportunities out there for whatever like field you want to get into.
I also feel like when it comes to like networking, LinkedIn has been like a good app to use, even though we're not getting paid. But LinkedIn is a good app to use when connecting with other people, especially if you put your university that you go to, because it connects you with other people, especially in your major or your minor, and it can connect you. You hearing noises again? At least it's not that man I was
Coughing.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, how do students stay informed and engaged with important issues affecting their generation?
Well, the way they stay informed is TikTok. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, everything people learn is from TikTok, or Apple News will send it at the top because of your like notification. That's how I learned OJ died.
Are you
Bye.
hearing it from that?
From Apple News, it just popped up on my phone. O.J. Simpson dead at 76. What?
Oh.
I found out from you.
Word of mouth? Yeah. Talking to somebody.
So, like, Which is why I think we have the spread of a lot of misinformation, because as soon as it like goes big on some platform of social media, there you go. Whole populace has been misinformed, and it's really hard to get the real information out once people have that thought in their mind.
But I also feel like, who watches the news?
My granny.
I like to say, gotta be people that watch the news. I gotta watch the news too.
How do you overcome challenges during your college journey when it comes to personal growth and development? Well, I guess you just deal with it.
Oh, so you just thug it out?
No, not kill it. I need to stop thugging it out. That's the problem. Kayla, define thugging it out. I feel like we haven't defined it to the podcast. We just be like, oh, I thug it out.
Thugging it out. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again.
No, we were talking about fighting demons and tweaking.
And tweaking, no, but I'm pretty sure I've said this in like a way earlier episode. Thugging it out is when you have a problem, but you don't want to bother anybody, so you just like, you know what, there's nothing I can do, and it's not even going to be worth my time, and nor do I want to bother anybody to talk about it, so I'm just going to thug it out. I might think about it, I might not think about it. Whatever happens, it is what it is. I'm thugging it. That's thugging it.
And I feel like in your college journey, you do a lot of it is what it is, or everything happens for a reason. So then you get into that like mindset where you're like, well, okay, what's next? So
You do get a lot of that thugging it out mentality in college.
Yeah.
But I would encourage those who do seek help. Like, literally, there are so many resources on campus, so many teachers, professors, faculty members who are just willing to sit down and talk to you. It don't even have to be about academics. Like, there are just so many people who don't even mind. You could just be sitting there and just want somebody to just sit. Your presence just need to be felt, and that's okay. So, yes, seek those resources.
that is true. We have a whole mental health awareness episode. Okay, how to plan ahead while still being a student in college. I would say there's what is that place?
Save your money.
Oh, that's not what I was gonna say, but that's a good one. What's the place downstairs from the ECU?
The EUC?
EUC,
What do you mean?
like the career
Chick-fil-A?
next to the Chick-fil-A.
Professional development.
Career professional development. That's what it's called. Okay, there's a
Career development
something.
center thing.
Yeah, something with your career development, professional development.
Where you go get your I-9?
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to plan ahead for a career, use that resource. Anything that has to do with career development. That's all I gotta say.
I think saving money is a big thing as a student. Like, if you're not going out and spending a lot, if you can get a job and you can just stack those checks, just save that money. Especially if you're a student who's in undergrad right now and you want to go to grad school, I think saving money should be your number one priority. So, you know, get your little job on campus if you can. If you want to work off campus, that's even better, more hours. But if you can get a job on campus and just start saving those checks, remember, you're broke anyway. It's not like, what I have to just tell myself is, you're broke anyway, don't even use the money. You're broke anyway, don't even use the money. Just act like it's not there. So that's what I have to do sometimes. Like, so I don't use the money, but it works.
Hey, if it works for you, use it. When they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think also doing, like, those are great options too. And I would say doing your research on what you want to do can better help prepare you for, like, the path you take to get there as well. Just do your research. Educate yourself a lot more on what it takes to get to where you want to be.
I also feel like a lot of students like think they're like, oh, I got my degree, I'm gonna go apply and I'm gonna get that job. Where that's not always the case. And that's where, like, I feel like a lot of students should be planning ahead, even if it's just going to graduate school or getting a job, or, like, I guess the best situation is, like, having an internship somewhere that you really want to work at, because then they already know your, like, work ethic and your, like, mindset and things like that. So then it's probably going to work out better when you do apply to get the job, or they might just give you the job since you already have an internship there. Okay, guys, so random questions. Kayla, take it over.
Okay, what is one piece of advice you wish you had received before starting college? Ooh, I don't know. I think I got a lot of advice, so I don't know what's one piece I wish I would have received. But one piece I wish I would have listened to is that you won't always remain friends with the people that you started with. Because I always kind of knew, like, it's okay to make friends and, like, you know, whatever, like, things just don't work out and it's fine. But I guess I just thought that would never happen to me. I'm like, okay, but I'd never put myself in that situation. And sometimes you don't put yourself in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're just in that situation and you think, like, okay, we're all going to be in this group until the end, and it just doesn't happen. And that's okay.
Yeah. That's growth. That's called growth. You'll learn that a lot as you continue on in your life. Like, growth is essential for a successful life, I feel like.
Yeah.
For a joyful life, too. Right? You don't want to be around, like, those little energy vampires,
Yep.
you know. So finding your group of people, for sure. And it'll help your college, you know, little experience, too.
Yeah.
You know? What do you have?
I think that you will be fine. Like, you will be okay. Even though I'm not okay. But you will be okay. You know? Kayla always gets on my nerves because I'm always like, it's always okay not to be okay.
Who said that?
Who said what?
Who said that? It's okay not to be okay?
Me.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd be like, you smacking your teeth.
It is okay to not be okay, but it's not okay for Jody not to be okay. Then it starts affecting me.
No, it doesn't.
It do.
Your life
It
has
do.
been so great these past 3 weeks, Kayla.
Okay, but that's just because your life has not been great.
Exactly. We can't both win.
That's what I'm saying.
We have learned that we
then
both
I start
can't
feeling
win.
bad. So when am I going to start losing? Because now I'm scared. Because when I start losing, you're going to start doing better. But at what cost? At what cost?
It's okay, Kayla. When I start winning, I'm gonna act like I'm still losing, so that you can still be winning.
Bye.
Maybe that
Maybe
will
it'll
work.
throw it off.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
Wait, she didn't answer.
Oh, I thought she did answer.
This is so fun. I'm having so much fun.
I thought she answered after you answered the question. That's when I was like, well, and then I was trying to think about something. If not, I could have took my time and did more effort into my answer.
I think for me, don't let anxiety get the best of you, right? Take those risks, take those chances, take those big leaps, or that feel big for you at the moment, because, like, once you get done with them, they're like, oh, I just did that, you know, it was nothing, right? But, like, just take more risks, like, go through them challenges, even if you got to do it alone, still say you did it, you know?
Okay, so next random question. What is a hobby or interest you have developed during your time in college that you did not experience to pursue? Expect to pursue. Sorry. This podcast. Yeah, that's mine. I really did not.
She says that.
No. Let's take it back. Cause Kayla, you don't even know about this.
Oh, I don't even know that.
And Kayla knows everything. Well, almost everything. I've been wanting to do a podcast since my freshman year of high school. And I was going to be like, okay, I'm going to get the job. I'm going to get the equipment. COVID happened. I never got a job. I had to stay home, so I never did it. My junior year, I started working. And I was like, okay, well, I'm too busy, and it's about to be my senior year. I was applying to all these scholarships, all these schools. I was so busy. I was like, I'm not going to have time for this. and I'm spending my money on all of this other stuff that I need, that I can't spend money on this equipment to actually like sit down, start everything, and do what I had to do. Then we get here in August. I meet Kayla, and I'm like, we're sitting here having deep conversations, talking about mad, crazy stuff, and we're just like, I go, we should really create a podcast. And Kayla was like, I'm down. And I'm like, are you sure? And then next thing you know, shout out Mr. Howard. He's the one who did our logo. And I got my logo done. Design Your Life with Misty and Professor Boyer. That was one of my goals that I had to achieve in their class, was to get the podcast done. So that was even more of like, okay, I have to get this done, I have to get it done. So it's been planned since August of 2023, and we started January recording of 2024. So yeah, I would have never thought I would be in college recording a podcast and talking about college life as a first generation student. Yeah.
Mine would also be the podcast, but I guess not in that way. I guess it's because I have anxiety. Like, when I said yes to the podcast, I'm gonna be so honest. I was like, I hope it doesn't happen. And like, I think about that, like, with anything I do, like, I'm gonna say yes, but then I hope it doesn't happen, but I know it's gonna happen. Anyway, I like to put myself in good situations, to try to pressure myself to be in good situations, and so that's why I said yes to doing the podcast. I'm not gonna lie, I was so nervous. I didn't tell Jody, obviously, because we talked about this before. I didn't tell Jody,
Yeah,
but
we talked about this like 2 podcasts.
yeah, I was quite literally shaking in my boots, and she had no idea.
Oh.
I did. I can't say no.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm like, I literally I tried to reassure her. I was like, Kayla, are you sure you want to do this? Because then I was like, I don't know how to edit, but I've seen her little day in a life TikToks or whatever. And I was like, okay, Kayla, like, do you think you could figure out how to edit, or we could figure something out? She was like, yeah, I got it. I'll do it.
Yeah, I had no idea how to edit. I was lying. I didn't know. It's like when you lie on the job application and you actually get the job.
And then you're sitting there, you're
Which is
like,
why the first episode of the podcast almost made my computer explode, but God,
Yeah.
it works now.
we made it.
Oh wow.
Yep.
But yeah, how about you?
I'll say exploring the arts more. Like, I don't know what it is, y'all. I just love like going to a museum.
Yeah.
I love going to like plays. Well, my younger siblings, they're like big in theater anyway, so I used to go and like watch their, plays, or like listen to the chorus. They were in chorus too. But now I just can't undo it. Like, I just go to a play, and just watch it. I'm like, I just really love. That's what I enjoy, like the arts. I love that. I just love that.
Real sophisticated and studious. If you could give incoming freshmen one piece of advice to help them succeed in college, what would it be?
To stay out of your room.
Period.
Because then, if not, you're going to get depressed. But then again, choose your roommate wisely.
If you have a choice, a lot of people don't.
Yeah, if you have a choice. If you don't have a choice, thug it out, man. You can always do room swap though, and like swap with somebody, but there's always options. But yeah, don't try to stay in your room all the time. Go to the library, go to the caf, go outside when it's good weather outside. Do something.
Do you? Whatever that looks like. It might look different for everybody. I know for me, it looks different for you, it looks different for you. But just do you. And have fun while doing it. Like, college is fun, right? But, we want to get to the books and, be studious, but have fun while doing it. So, yes, go out, get involved. Even if you ain't involved, go sit in a library, go sit in a caf, but do you. You don't have to adjust to be somebody you're not. Like, just be yourself.
I think my piece of advice, and it's mainly for people who live near their college campus, don't go home all the time. Coming from someone who goes home a lot, like, I guess it's just because at home, because I do come from such a small area, I just miss that sense of community. And so I think that if I stayed up here more, I'd be able to build a community. But I just feel so connected to home that I feel like, oh, I'm just going to go home. And so that's why I'm trying to get a job up here or like an internship up here next semester, so I can be here more. Not feel like I have to have time when we go home, especially since we don't have class on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday next semester.
Oh, that's a good schedule.
Yeah.
It's a great
I think
schedule.
we're gonna record on Monday because I have lab on Wednesday. We'll figure it out then. Okay, and now for the quote of the day. So basically, I'm gonna say the quote, and then you can say, "Oh yeah, I agree with the quote," or like if you want to add on to it, you can add on to it. Okay. Take pride in how far you have come. Have faith in how far you can go, but do not forget to enjoy the journey.
Period.
That part. That part. Keep that faith. Grow stronger in your faith. Let that sit. Right. But yes, be proud of how far you came.
I think the quote says it for itself. And now for the song of the day. So,
I don't have my phone on my iPad, but I can just pick one.
oh, you're just gonna pick one?
Out of the top.
Do you have a song of your day, or you're just gonna pick one like Kayla?
Dang, I lost
can't
it.
pick let me scroll.
What would be? Oh, I'm different by 2 Chainz. That's me and
Oh.
That's your mood.
You know what's so funny?
I've been loving 2 Chainz. Bye. Bye.
Wait, what's on
Bad and Bougie by Migos, Future, and Lil Uzi.
We love Migos.
Oh, that is
Oh my
so
gosh,
funny.
I just have so many songs. But I'm just okay. One artist that I just been loving lately is JT. So I'm gonna pick
JT Real Bad. JT Real Bad.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Sideways by JT. She's been a mood lately. But yeah, love me some of the City Cinderella.
Yeah.
Okay, and now to end off, our episode. Do not miss out on all the fun, laughter, wisdom, and tears.
Put your
Don't
mama
forget
on.
to put your mama on. Subscribe to Deep College Thoughts on YouTube. Like, follow, leave a comment. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Deep College Thoughts. Our personal, mine is Jotty.2real.
Mine is Kayla_man with 4 E's.
Thank you for being on our podcast.
Thank
We
you.
loved having you. If you ever want to come back again, you are more than welcome to.
Of course.
And anything else you would like to say before we end it?
Yes, thank y'all for having me. I had a ball. I finally got to have fun, let loose. I'm just a professional, but professional at the same time. But yeah, I had a ball. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. And without that, put your mama on and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.